right, this is still elimination. So we want our x's or our y's to be eliminated. Now these aren't going to be as easy. We can't just multiply, or can't just add for them to go away. We're going to have to multiply. So I always take a look at the smaller number. In this case, I'd look at the 2. Is there something I can multiply by 2 to get the opposite of 3? Now remember, we want the opposite, because if I have 3x and I have the opposite of negative 3x, I get 0. So we want the opposite, so make sure you remember that. Okay. So there's nothing I can do to 2 to get negative 3. Okay. Now on this one, remember the y's. This is a 1. So is there something I can do to the 1 to become a positive 2, because this is negative 2? So is there something I can multiply the 1 by to get a positive 2? And the answer is yes. I can multiply the 1 by 2. So I'm going to multiply the whole equation by 2. So you distribute. So 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times 1y is 2y. And then 2 times 5 is 10. Now I'm going to go ahead, this equation, I'm just going to bring it and line it back up. So we have 2x minus 2y equals negative 2. Now you notice my y's are going to be eliminated. So 6x plus 2x is 8x. Those get eliminated. Equals 8. Divide by 8, and x equals 1. So I know I have my x value. Now I'm going to take this, and I got to substitute back into either one of those equations. It does not matter which one. I'm going to go ahead and do the top one. So we have 3, and instead of the x, I'm going to put a 1. Plus y equals 5. So this is 3 plus y equals 5. Subtract 3, and y equals 2. I'm going to go ahead and put that in my y point, and my answer is 1, 2. Remember, if these were graphed, they would meet at 1, 2. Next problem. Same thing. We want either our x's or y's to be eliminated. So let's take a look at both of them. Okay, we have a 6 and a 3 and a negative 3x. Now take a look at the smaller one. So 3x, negative 3x. Is there anything I can multiply this by to get negative 6? And the answer is yes. I can multiply this by 2, and I get negative 6. Okay, so that is one option. Let's take a look at my y's. I have a 4y and a 3y. Is there something I can multiply the 3y to get a 4? And the answer is no. So we're going to go ahead and multiply this by 2 to get rid of my x's. Okay, so distribute. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and bring this one back over so they're all lined up. So 6x plus 4y equals 42. I'm going to add because my x's are going to go away. So I have 4y plus 6y, which is 10y. Then 42 minus 12 is 30. Divide by 10, and y equals 3. So my y value is 3. Now take this, substitute it back into either one of those equations. It doesn't matter. I'm going to take the bottom one. So we have negative 3x plus 3, and instead of the y, I'm going to put a 3. Is negative 6. So that's 9. Subtract your 9. Negative 3x equals negative 15, and x is going to equal 5. I'm going to put that in my x value, and my answer is 5, 3. Let's look at one that is not multiplied just one time. So let's take a look at this. Okay. Let's look at my x's. Okay. Can I multiply something by 3 to get a negative 5? No. Let's take a look at the y's. Can I multiply something by 8 to get a 9? And the answer is no. So on this one, we're going to have to multiply both equations by a number so that my x's and y's will be eliminated. Now I'm going to pick my x's just because they're a little easier. So I want to find a number that will go into 5 and 3, or 3 and 5 will go into. Alright, so I want to find a number that 5 and 3 will go into, and that's going to be 15. Okay? If you want, you can just multiply the numbers together. Doesn't matter, sometimes it's easier. Okay, so I'm going to want both of these to be 15 and negative 15. It doesn't matter which one's negative or which one's positive. Okay, so to get this to be a positive 15, I'm going to multiply by 3. So I need to make sure I multiply everything by 3, and that'll make my x value 15. Okay. Now I want my second equation, I want this to be negative 15. Okay, so in order to get this to be negative 15, I'm going to have to multiply by negative 5. So let's go ahead and distribute. So we have 3 times 5x is 15x. 3 times negative 9y is negative 27y. Okay, and then 3 times negative 43. This would be negative 129. Now this one, negative 5 times 3 is negative 15x. Negative 5 times 8 is negative 40y. Okay, and then 5 times 68 is going to be negative 340. Let's go ahead and add. My x's are going to go away, so I have negative 27y minus 40y, which is going to give me negative 67y. And then I have negative 129 minus 340, and I get negative 469. Okay. Divide by negative 67, and y is going to equal, positive 7. All right, so my y value, there's some room for my x. So my y value is 7. Now I want to take and substitute 7 in for my y's. Doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and do the 8, right, just because I don't have to mess with negatives. So let's rewrite it. So we have 3x plus 8y, but instead of the y I'm going to put a 7, equals 68. So 3x, 8 times 7 is 56. Subtract 56. So 3x equals 12, so x equals 4. So my answer is 4, 7. Let's look at another one where we have to multiply 2. Alright, take a look at my x's. I have 3 and 4, and there's nothing I can multiply 3 by to get 4. So let's take a look at the y's. I have 2 and 3. There's nothing I can multiply the 2 by to get the opposite of 3. So I'm going to have to multiply both of them. Now you can eliminate your x's and y's. Most of the time it's just easier to eliminate your x's. So I'm looking for a number that 3 and 4 will go into, and that's 12. So I want one to be 12 and one to be negative 12. So multiply that by 4 and that by negative 3, so I get that negative 12. So let's distribute. Negative 12x minus 9y equals 6. Watch your signs, okay? Negative times a negative. Okay, my y's are going to disappear. My x's are going to disappear. 8y minus 9y is negative 1y. Okay, 4 and 6 is 10. Divide by negative 1, and y equals negative 10. Now I'm going to substitute that in for one of these y's. I'm just going to pick the top one. So we have 3x plus 2y, but instead of y, I'm going to put negative 10 equals 1. 3x minus 21 equals, 20, a little ahead of myself. Add 20, and you get 3x equals 21, so x equals 7. So my answer is 7, negative 10. Okay. All right, you guys, good luck. We'll see you in class.